Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
The Saints are about to start the mandatory minicamp, and I'm going to just touch on things that Dennis Allen needs to do this offseason, and in his upcoming season to be successful and probably come back as the Saints head coach. Now, it's going to be a lot of things. It's not going to be easy. My confidence is not very high on it, but we'll touch on some of these things I think he needs to do to just make it a good time for himself at the Saints this season. And before that, man, I'll let y'all know what's going on with me. I know I haven't been posting for a minute, but I'm in the process of a move. Once I move, I'll be back more regularly. But back to Dennis Allen, man. First off, win games. Win some football games. It's super, super simple, man. You just need to win football games. Like, I know it sounds simple. I know it is simple. Like, it's just black and white. You either win games or you lose games in the NFL. It's a win league, win or loss league. You're either winning games or losing games. And so far with the Saints, he's been losing games. He just has to change that. He has to change that. You got to go out, get off to a good start. Don't go on these 3-4 game losing streaks. Just have to win football games. The schedule's not hard. The schedule's not, easy by any stretch of the imagination because it's the NFL. But you just have to win games. You have to win games, man. That's super, super simple. Next, I think you have to develop some of these younger guys. Now, obviously, this is going to help you win games. This is going to help you down the line, later in the season. But you have to develop some of these young guys, man. Like, you just have to. We have too many guys that are young, that are talented on this roster, and we have to develop those guys. I mean, obviously, you look at the two quarterbacks behind Derek Carr. You got Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler. You have to develop those guys. You have to have those guys ready to play just in case Derek Carr was hurt all last season. You got Kendre Miller. You still got Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed in that receiving room along with A.T. Perry. That whole receiving room needs to be developed. Now, obviously, DA is the defensive coach, stuff like that. So he's not going to be hands-on with the receivers, with the quarterbacks, with the running backs, with whoever. But you're the head coach, so it all falls on you. Then you got the offensive lineman. You still got Trevor Penning, who obviously needs some development. Seldaveri, who we drafted last season. And then now you got Talise Fuaga, who you just drafted. Those guys need to be developed. Those guys need to play significant snaps for us this season. And if you want to be the head coach, you just have to develop those guys. Then you obviously have guys on the defensive end like Brian Brissy, Isaiah Foskey, who we spent the second round pick on. You got Jordan Howden, who's going to play a major role in that safety, in that backfield. So you have Alontae Taylor. You have a lot of guys that you still need to develop, and that's going to be a big key for the Saints' success and for Dennis Allen. If he wants to be this coach, you have to develop those guys.
Quick little intermission. Hey, if you're new to the channel or if you're not in the Discord, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join the Discord as well. The links are in the description below. Back to this. Also need to see improvement in coaching. You have to see improvement in coaching, not just from Dennis Allen, but from the coaching staff. He has to do a better job of coaching the coaches. The one thing about Sean Payton, I saw him coaching coaches on the sideline. I don't really see that with Dennis Allen. Sean Payton, if the defense wasn't playing well, defense wasn't doing something like, he let Dennis Allen have it. He let Rob Ryan have it. Whoever was the defensive coordinator, Sean Payton let them know. Dennis Allen, I don't really see that approach. Don't really see that approach with him. He needs to coach the coaches better. He also needs to coach better himself. That's evident. He has to coach better himself, and we'll talk about that a little later, but he definitely has to coach better himself, along with coaching the coaches. Everyone on the staff has to coach better. It's a new staff. It's his staff. It's a couple off seasons for him now. They have to change. It has to get better. That obviously goes into the development, things like that. That's in-game stuff. Everything needs to get better on the coaching front. Also, get the fan base on your side. Now, this is important. It may not seem important because, like I said, you win games, this will happen. If everything happens that I'm saying, if he does everything that I'm saying, it'll happen. You have to get the fan base back on your side. It's probably under 10% that believes in Dennis Allen, and that's being nice. And he hasn't given anyone anything to believe in, but obviously you have to get the fan base on your side. Now, he may not think nothing of it, but guess what? Who's buying tickets to the games? Who's watching these games? Who's buying merch? Who's going to these games? Your money, your livelihood is dependent on people showing up. I know it's the NFL, they're gonna make their money, but hey, I bet if that Superdome had 0 people in it this season, you're out of here. You're out of here unless you're just undefeated and no one's showing up, which is not going to happen because New Orleans is ready to support the team. That's never going to change. It's been through the worst moments. So you just got to get the fan base back on your side, man. And that's going to help. Only way that's going to help, win football games. It's super, super simple. You gotta win football games. Also, the player relationships. That has to be better. Obviously, the Michael Thomas thing, that was a little weird. Don't know really what happened, but I'm not going to fully blame him for that because Michael Thomas had a little thing with Sean Payton as well. So that is what it is. But I think the coddling of Derek Carr rubbed a lot of people wrong last year.
a lot of people wrong. And then you come out and then you kind of throw Chris Olave under the bus to protect Derek Carr. That rubbed a lot of people wrong last year, including myself. I didn't like it one bit. I had no problem with him calling out Chris Olave, but if you're going to do that, you got to keep that same energy with everybody on the team. Call out Cam Jordan, call out Tyrann Mathieu, call out Demario Davis, call out Derek Carr, call out Taysom Hill, whoever it is, call them out. You don't just pick Chris Olave and one play out the game and call him out. You got to keep that same energy. So I think he lost some of the players' respect, in my opinion. He has to get that back. You have to get that back. The players have to respect the head coach. Even if you're losing games, like some teams are losing games, but the players still respect their head coach. I don't think the Saints ended that way. Obviously, they didn't, because you look how the season ended with Jameis Winston and Jamal Williams getting him a touchdown. So obviously, he got to earn the respect of those players back, and they have to respect them, or it just won't be successful. And obviously, I'm just going to get to some points that it just needs to happen. Like, this obviously needs to happen. The Saints have to make the playoffs. It's simple as that. If you want to save your job, you got to get in the playoffs. And I still don't think that might not be enough. If you limp into the playoffs at 9-8 in this weak division, 10-7, whatever it is, and you just sneak in and then you get blown out first round or something like that, you still might not be able to save your job, but you have to make the playoffs. I think that is a must this year. It's not no ifs, ands, buts about it. This roster's not getting any younger with Cam Jordan, Kamara, Demario, Derek Carr. It's not getting any younger. Tyrann Mathieu, you have to make the playoffs this season or you're out of here. I just think that's a given. I think that's a given. Like I said, he has to make the playoffs, man. You got to make the team believe in you. You got to make the fan base believe in you. And also, you got to make the future look bright. That goes kind of back to developing these players, man. Like Chris Olave, it looks like he can be a guy. Look, we just drafted a couple linemen first round. On the offensive side and on the defensive side, high draft picks. First and second round. We have to develop these guys. If you don't develop these guys, that's also a reason you should be out of here. Because now you're just wasting 2 to 3 years of these young guys' careers. And about time they start to hit their stride, now you got to pay them. So we don't even know what we got. We don't know what we got. So you have to develop these guys. You have to get these guys ready to play football. Like, you have to. And also, like I said, about making the playoffs, you have to win big games as well. You have to win the big games. I do not want a season where we win 9 games and we make the playoffs and we beat Carolina twice. Beat Atlanta twice. We beat split with Tampa, beat Denver, beat the Chargers, like stuff like that. Beat the Raiders, beat the Giants, and we win 9 games. Like stuff like that. That's 9 games. It's NFL. Every win is tough. I know, but no. You have to win the big games. We got Chiefs prime time. Do I think we're gonna win that game? No. We got Sean Payton at the Superdome prime time. You know, you got Green Bay and Jordan Love prime time. You have to win some of these prime time games. It's only 3 of them. Shit, go 2-1. But you go out there on prime time and you get your butt kicked every time, and the whole NFL world starts to see it, not just Saints fans. It's not going to end well for you. It's not going to end well for you. But that's all on Dennis Allen, man. Things he needs to do to be successful this year. If y'all think anything different or you disagree, agree, let me know in the comments below, man. As always, thank y'all for tuning in once again. This is Taboo Tragedies. I'm out.
So one last time, let's make